Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Ask the Expert Show. Today, I've got a very special guest by the name of David Kirst. David Kirst is one of the best video marketing experts in the Mansfield, Ohio, and surrounding areas in Ohio. Has been traveling all over the country with musicians, with recording. Been on several movie sets, and I'm going to bring David Kirst on. David Kirst, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Gary. How are you today?
I am wonderful. So thanks for being on the show.
My pleasure, my friend. My pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah. So David, you've got a pretty interesting background. You used to travel around with some bands and do a lot of their sound recording. Is that correct?
Yes, we're in the early to mid late or mid to early '90s, should I say? That's what I did. I went around, did lighting, and did sound for different bands. Some were small way back then, and some were even a little bit larger than they are now today. But the cool thing is, I learned a lot. I met a lot of people, which kind of got me into different fields as I journeyed through my life.
Yeah. Now you're also the importance of like the video marketing aspect of what we do talk about today's show. You've been on several movies. You've been in movies yourself. You're an actor and producer, correct? Tell us a little
Correct,
about that.
correct. Yeah, sure. Well, I started getting into movies because I just loved the art of it all. I started first as an actor and got into just small background roles and kind of worked my way into the production aspect of it all. While I was on set and people took breaks, I would, follow someone around with the camera or follow someone around with the boom mic and ask them what kind of gear they had, just so I kind of got a free education through it, and learned that way. And went home and applied myself with YouTube, to the school of YouTube, if you would call it that, to learn different ways and techniques of using different types of equipment for recording and doing film. And so I kind of got my education that way, both being on set and also through YouTube and different, media outlets. And that's what kind of gave me my education to an extent. And I
Yeah.
started getting into film and got into Clown Town, which is a movie we did back in 2015. Brian and Tom Nagel are brothers. Tom Nagel was a director. Jeff Miller wrote the movie. It was filmed in Crestline, Ohio, which is about 20 minutes west of Mansfield, Ohio. And it came out in 16. It was very successful, and they went on to do other movies with bigger actors. And then I got involved with a gentleman by the name of Gary Jones. We just got to film a movie called Escape from Death Block 13. That's going to be coming out next month, and it's a big feature. And in fact, we filmed it at the same location that Shawshank Redemption was filmed at. So it's a
That's
billion
awesome.
dollar backdrop with a great story and some great action. We have a bunch of WWE wrestlers in there, a local guy by the name of Chris Hines on it as well. He's a great guy. And that's kind of how I got into movies and stuff. And then I started buying my own equipment, opened up our own production company, and just started going at it, just kind of dove in head first.
Yeah. So you do several type of productions. You're set, running the cameras as well. You've gotten some like in the past done some essentially some like reality TV type shows where you've actually produced, came up with scripts, things of that nature as well. And you're also doing local commercials, right? Well, national commercials in some cases, but tell us about some like the
Yeah.
commercials and stuff that you're essentially doing.
Sure. So, I mean, I've gotten to a little bit of everything, like you said. It started off with just doing a music video here and there, and then kind of got into doing different commercials for locally owned businesses. I targeted locally owned businesses because they were easier to get a hold of at first than I did, chain, big corporate, businesses. And you could directly deal with the owner of the business directly, face to face, versus dealing with a corporation with the deal with managers and whatever else, and boards and whatnot. So I found it really
Mhm.
easy to target local businesses and locally owned businesses, in different cities, right? Be Cleveland, Columbus, Mansfield, or whatever. And I would be able to talk to them and explain to them what I did. And I gave them different visuals and stuff and gave them a really fair price. And I explained to them that the importance of video is that it could be directly delivered to each client versus a commercial or a TV commercial where you have to be on the right channel at the right time to be able to hear or view that information. So it's really cool to be able to get them to wrap their head around that concept and then to buy into it, and then when I come up with a great product and they see it and they see the difference, there's a gentleman by the name of Les who owns a business here in Mansfield called the Keto Zone. He wasn't doing very good when he first started off. He just said he didn't understand it. I mean, keto was the hottest diet at the time, and he just couldn't understand it. And we went in and we did a commercial, and 6 months later, he was opening up a second location at the mall. That's how busy he was. And he claims it's because of our video. And it just shows the power of video and media marketing, and if it's done right, what it can do and the positive results it can do for a business.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. So, like, obviously, I mean, we want to get a little bit into the video marketing aspect and so forth. But what types of like equipment and stuff are you needing? Like maybe the do-it-your-home person at home, DIY guy at home. Do they need a lot of really expensive equipment, David, or like can they just do right from their cell phone? I mean,
right. Really, to be honest with you, there's so many different. Technology has really caught up. That's what's really happened. Technology has caught up with the industry. Okay, you no longer have to go out and spend $25,000 and go out and buy a red camera. You don't have to do that no more. A lot of things can be done through smartphones and through tablets and whatnot. Okay, so a lot of those are 4K cameras. So it's high quality, great picture, great sound. So what it really comes down to is quality and quantity when it comes to video marketing, right? That's what it all comes down to. And some people say, well, you can't have both. Well, yeah, you can have both. And it's important to have both. It's also important to have a balance there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If you got too much quantity and not quality, let's talk about quality for a minute. So it's not just quality in your gear, for example. For example, you could buy a web camera and some cheap lighting, and boom, you got a production company already. You're ready to go live and do whatever type of programming you want to do. You don't have to go out and spend 30 grand. But on the same sense, you want to have good quality programming. The content in which you're actually delivering needs to be good quality content.
Yeah.
Like for example, I got on YouTube, so I was looking at a John Deere tractor some years ago. Okay, and I got on YouTube and saw the most videos, the most views, should I say, it had 20 million views. So I clicked on it, right? And there was some guy who just bought a brand new John Deere tractor. But the problem is that he didn't know how to operate a camera to save his life. So the footage was everywhere. I mean, it was everywhere. I seen the floor and the ceiling more than I saw the John Deere, okay? But he was so informative in what he was saying and how he delivered it that he actually convinced me to go out and buy the John Deere tractor. And I did. I actually went out and bought the John Deere tractor because of the information I was receiving from him. So it wasn't necessarily the quality of his video as it was the quality of his content that delivered on this case.
Yeah.
So
that's all. I mean,
quality.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. It's not necessarily like you see a lot of like reality TV shows or YouTubers going famous right now, and sometimes the quality of the video really isn't there. And it's all about the content that they're putting out, and they're constantly putting content out. So like, how much content does it really take to be successful?
I've heard it both ways. Some people say, hey, you need to at least put out a video a week to be successful. And I kind of agree to that to an extent. But then I always look at the rule, don't rush your product. You know what I mean? Of course, not all your products going to be 100% perfect if you're doing video. Nothing's going to be 100% perfect. You can always do more editing and do more time to it. But the bottom line is that you have to come to a happy medium, I guess, if you call it that, where you say, okay, this meets the standard or goes above the standard. I'm going to deliver now. To my client to, one, meet the timeline, and two, still have it professionally made and still have a high quality. So it kind of goes both ways. I mean, you take your time and put one out a month. Well, it depends on the size of the project. If you're just doing a simple web thing, then maybe 2 or 3 a week is sufficient. Maybe once a week sufficient. It really depends on what you're filming and your audience and what the right people receive.
Yeah. I know one thing that's really helped me, David, as you know, I mean, I do a couple different things, but like one of the things that really sticks out in my mind is my real estate business. And one of the things that really helps that is the fact that I go maybe I do like a Facebook live video. And I go out to like a property and I'm literally just taking my phone out of my pocket and recording a video and putting it out there like on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram. You're able to even go live now on like LinkedIn. But it's essentially branded me as like the guy that buys houses, right? And so I get people that call me all the time saying, So like how can you kind of relate to that, like the branding aspect, of how powerful videos are, and you don't have to spend, I'm not spending money when I'm doing Facebook Live, right? I'm not, I've got my cell phone service that I'm paying, but I'm utilizing
Yep.
that to go out and
Absolutely
make
right. So
money.
it's minimal amount. Yeah, it's minimal amount of money. So let me throw something out there. So last fall, I invented and shot a game show around Mansfield, Ohio called Ask Mansfield. This is like,
Yeah,
historical questions that we walk up to people on the streets and ask them historical questions where they could win different prizes. Well, the funny thing is that nobody, and I mean nobody, has seen 1 second of that show yet because I haven't edited not 1 second of it yet. But what I
yeah,
did do is I went live multiple times while I was filming with my little camera, my little cell phone camera, just like you do. Okay. And we were averaging 5 to 10,000 views in a 24-hour period. Now, here I got 10 grand worth of equipment filming people with, and got a cell phone that's worth 800 bucks maybe. It's filming us filming with 10 grand worth of equipment, but yet what delivered was a silly cell phone that got us 10,000 views a day. I mean, so
yep,
that right there shows the power of what you have in your hand. It's just a cell phone, which is cheap. So you don't really need to spend big buku bucks to get, the results that you're looking for.
yeah. And so, yeah, and you know me, like my theory is use the equipment you have right now and start branding yourself and get your name out there. And then when you start making your money, then you upgrade your equipment, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I
Yep,
mean,
it's baby
I've said
steps.
that
You
from.
got you got to crawl before you walk.
Exactly. Yeah. So, like, I know you're helping some guys set up like a studio right now to do like a big, podcast and vlogs and so
Yes.
forth. But
Mm-hmm.
they've got the resources to go and put in a studio, right? What are some
Mm-hmm.
of the guys maybe
Correct.
listening at home that are just starting out? Like, what are some equipment maybe at home that do like a green screen, or what's some of that type of stuff that you would kind of recommend somebody investing in to maybe make their production just a little bit better?
Well, first thing that you need to invest in as a filmmaker or as anybody that's trying to get into any type of media production or in any way, shape, or form, first thing you do is get a membership for Amazon Prime. I highly suggest that because the equipment you can buy there that's high quality and delivers high quality footage for dirt cheap. You just can't beat it. Some of the cameras that you can find on there are off-brand cameras that still shoot 4K. Like for example, there's GoPro's the number one GoPro type action camera as they call it, but there's thousands of knockoffs that film just as good and deliver just as well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so there's tons of different gear out there that you can get. One I do suggest, which is very high quality, and it is a name brand, but it's not one that is high expensive, is Zoom products. Zoom always delivers when it comes to audio, high quality. You just can't beat it. And I use a lot of Zoom quality in their products on my productions. But there's a certain camera called a Zoom Q8. In fact, it's the very first camera that I purchased. Okay. The reason why I purchased it is because of its versatility. One, it records audio perfectly, superb. Two, the broad vision that it delivers. Okay, it's almost like a fisheye lens in a sense. But not only
Mm-hmm.
that, though, it's very compact. It's maybe about this big, and you could carry it anywhere, almost in your pocket. It's very small. It folds up. It also has an LCD screen, it's touch screen. So I think the cost on that was I think 300 bucks. Okay. So I got me a high HD quality camera with great sound recording capabilities that can also go in externally with sound as well. So it really helped me out when I first started off to shoot commercials, to shoot different people's podcasts, and it's really great for like inside of a concert environment because it's able to just take the distortion of the loud music and distinguish that and give you a good high quality sound still.
Yeah.
So that Zoom Q8 is one camera I definitely, always, throw out there. If you're looking to get into something that's a little bit cheaper than that, I would definitely say go with something like a little bit more bulkier, that can a little bit more versatility, should I say? I would go with the Canon T6, Rebel T6. You can buy them at any Walmart or Sam's Club, for relatively cheap. I think I paid 550, 600 for mine. But it came with 3 different lenses, which most cameras don't come with lenses. So which is really cool. Came with a bag as well, and I got I think a lens cleaning kit with it as well. So I got quite a bit for the bang of the buck. Okay, but the cool thing is that I was able to film my first couple movies with it. I was able to, or short movies, should I say, with it. I was able to film a ton of local commercials that was able to give me immediate funding, to progress my business. So and not only that, it helped me build a platform right away. So for less than $1,000, I had two great cameras that I was able to film multiple TV shows, multiple commercials and whatnot, and I had less than $1,000 into it, to be honest with you. So looking back at now and saying this story is like, wait a minute, I had less than $1,000, and why do I own 10 grand worth of equipment now? But like I said, for each project, it takes a different piece of equipment. So.
Yeah. So now, I mean, you're kind of maybe referred now. You actually filmed a couple short movies and won some awards with that equipment, right?
Yes, I did. So there's a national film festival called Cinefest that's held down in Columbus, and I heard about the year before that, and I said, I'm going to get into it the following year. Well, the following year it snuck up on me, and I was on Facebook one night, and I was just scrolling through, and it said, Center Festival, Columbus, Ohio, blah, blah, blah. You have like 2 days left before the deadline. I'm like, I really wanted to do this, So I was really mad at myself for missing it. And, now that I had the gear, especially. So I just started panting around the room, and I said, you know what? I'm going to call a bunch of my friends that never acted before, including my wife, and see if they'll be game to have some fun this weekend, And so I called them all up, and they said they were all for it. So I wrote the script in like 20 minutes. I sent it to them. The following night we filmed, and then the second night we filmed. I stayed up all night long and edited because they had to be turned in before noon the next day. And so from what I remember right, there was 28 films that were submitted, and they were only accepted 12, and ours was accepted out of one of 12. And so we all went down there, and but before we went down there, I called everybody and said, hey, we were accepted to this film festival. Come on over. So they all came into our house. We had pizza and stuff. I had a couple of drinks, and we're celebrating. And then right in the celebration, I said, okay, everyone listen. And they said, what? I said, we don't have a chance of winning this, okay? So just get that out of your head. What we're going to do is we're going to go down here, okay? We're going to go down here to this film festival. We're going to watch everybody's work. We're going to network, and we're going to learn all this stuff, and we're going to bring it back and apply it to our next film, okay? Well, we get down there, and we ended up winning both the top awards, which was the People's Choice, and then also the first time in its 17-year history, all 6 judges picked the same film, which is our movie, Karma at Sunset 2, which is still gives me goosebumps just thinking about it, because it's just a magical moment, and that we did it with less than $1,000 worth of gear, and it did it in 2 nights, filming and editing. It was amazing. It was a time of my life. It's something I'll always, keep in my heart. It's something I'll always remember. And then to win awards, it's just, it was just,
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about it. It was just amazing, amazing experience. So it doesn't take millions of dollars or thousands of dollars for example, to do what you really want to do. It takes drive, it takes dedication, and it takes, I think, best and most of all, quality of good content.
Yeah. That's awesome. So, I mean, the content and everything is great as well. Getting content out there. How do you write like your content? I mean, you're a very creative guy, and so like coming from me, like I literally I just can't write. I'm not. It's one of those weird things.
It starts with the idea. It starts with an idea. And then what I do normally is I come up with the idea first, and before I go to the computer and start hacking it out, I just think about the idea, and I think, okay. Like, for example, I got a movie that I just got to write the script for that I'm hopefully going to be filming this spring. I can't tell you what the title is on live air, but what I can tell you is that when I first started writing it, I knew the concept. What I first wanted was, actually, I'll be honest with you, the first thing I did is I wrote a movie as a horror movie, and I can tell you what that's called. It was called The Dad, okay? I wrote a horror movie, a scary movie. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to shoot it. Let's do it. And I got to thinking, like, wait a minute, I'm an independent filmmaker. This is a business, so I got to think business now, not creatively and productively, but business now. And I said, now, wait a minute. If I film a horror movie, of course, I have all odds against me already, because one, I'm an independent filmmaker. I don't have all the big studios and the money that they have to push my product. So I need to have the best chances I can get. So if I shoot a horror movie, okay, well, I just took half the people out the equation, because half the people are scared to watch a horror movie, and they'll never buy it. Okay. So now I'm stuck with 50% of the people, right? I'm thinking, okay, there's still millions of people in that window. Okay, but then I'm gonna lose half of them because of religious reasons, and half of them because half of them are young or too young to watch a horror movie. So now I'm down to a slice of the pie, and still all odds against me. Not very good
Yeah.
now. Maybe I better not put out a horror movie, especially as my first movie, right? So
Yeah.
I thought, what does everybody love? What does everybody watch? No matter how old, no matter how young, no matter how whatever you like, what race you are, whatever, it doesn't make no difference. What does everybody like? And the answer is action. Everybody loves a good action movie. So I started writing an action movie, and I started coming up with the idea first. And so when I came up with the idea, like, okay, it's gonna be about this, I said, okay, this guy is gonna be, moving amongst this movie, dealing with
Yep.
people that he trusts and people that in some cases has trust with his life and he loves. And these are the people that actually end up stab him in the back, and how he has to find his way through life to actually get back to where he's at. Okay. And then find redemption at the end of the whole nine. So it's a whole big action movie that's going to be filmed here in Mansfield, I can tell you that. But the cool thing is that when I started coming out and writing it, it really just started with an idea and
Mhm.
talking that idea out. Like, okay, this guy is going to go through this. Well, why is he going to go through this? Okay, well, this is the reason why. Okay, well, why does his friends, the people he loved, do this to him? Well, there's always a reason, for everything that you do. So in a movie, it's basically just having these dots and then connecting those dots together to make a whole weave. Then pretty soon you have a whole page of a movie or a page of a script. And you can, as you read through it, you actually are visualizing it in your head. And the thing I like to do is I give my script always to my wife first. Here, read this. Sit down and read this. And she reads it, and I walk out the room, and then I sneak back in and peek around the corner and watch her facial expressions as she's reading the script. Is she really into the script? Is she really, all over the script? Is she reading fast? If she's reading fast, that means she's really digging what she's what she's reading at that point, really dissecting it, really taking it in. And if you can see that when they're just reading it, that means they're visualizing everything in their head as if it was a movie. You know what I mean? So if you know that you can put it on a movie where they can visualize it, then you've got a winner already. And that's what I do. I'll write 4 or 5 scenes, and I'll say, here, read this. And if I get that reaction, I keep
Mhm.
working with it. But if I don't get that reaction, I sit back and I reevaluate.
Okay. Very cool. So now some content obviously doesn't need to be like a movie length, right? You don't need to have 13 chapters and things of that nature.
Absolutely.
You could just be like a 30-second commercial in a sense for getting your point across on there. What's some advice for somebody just starting out, wanting to and how does it how can they help their business go to the next level by doing it? Now, my theory, like alone, Dave, is like on Facebook alone. Facebook itself, you don't have to go out and spend, $4, $5, $10, $2,000, $3,000 on these commercials for like these big companies. Go to
Right.
like the TV station, right? You could do a 30-second commercial
Mm-hmm.
for free just on Facebook alone. Okay. And so what's some advice,
Absolutely.
maybe
Mm-hmm.
getting content out and going out there on that end, like just that business that wants to get going. Okay.
Yeah. Well, social media is always key, I believe. I mean, to be honest with you, I banked my business on it. If it wasn't for Facebook, I probably wouldn't be here, to be honest with you. You could build a platform off of Facebook and social media very easily, and once again, for free. It doesn't cost you a dime. The technologies that's involved with Facebook, and also the different, social media platforms like TikTok and YouTube and whatever else, they have live video capabilities right then and there. I mean, think about it. Technology
Yeah.
has caught up so much. I mean, before, to go live, a news van would pull up, the antenna would go up, 4 people would come out with a camera, lights, crew, the whole nine, and thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? Not anymore. You pull out your phone, you go live anywhere. Anywhere. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. Technology has caught up. So that's a powerful tool, because not only that, you're able to reach. I mean, I think you have 5,000 per page. I think it's the limit now when it comes to Facebook. I'm not sure when it
Yeah. On
comes
your
to
personal
pro
page.
pages if
Yeah.
you
It's
can have more.
5,000.
Right. Yeah. Right. So, my point is that you're able to reach the masses instantly by a push of a button. So to be able to broadcast anything live or pre-recorded through your page is key. Social media, the Facebook, all these different platforms were originally built just to have fun on, but people got smart and wised up and said, hey, this is a powerful tool. I can do a lot with this. And so you can market anything from a local TV commercial. So let's say you're starting a business, you want to start doing TV commercials, okay? So what you do is you get your logo together, you get your name together, you shoot yourself a little commercial, and you put that out there on social media, as well as pound the concrete, locally. Attack your local neighborhood,
Yeah.
attack your eateries, attack your libraries, attack your police and local fire departments and stuff, because they do a lot of different things for within the community. Okay, like for example, they do they pass out food for free. They do like the safety towns for kids. Those are things that you could film and put out there on your own video to show people the quality that you're putting out. And that's like giving out free advertisement for yourself. When people see that quality and that you're able to deliver, they're going to call you up. You're going to have to put out a lot of different commercials for yourself. They're going to be out looking for you.
Yep. That's very good. I mean, so, like some of the business owners, like they could go, they're supporting their own business and they're supporting, local businesses, their local community. And,
at the same time,
one thing one thing I always liked is, like when I go like live on Facebook, it's not all business, right? I'm not promoting, if I own a boot company, I'm not going and talking about boots all the time. I'm treating my Facebook kind of like a reality TV show. They want a little bit to know about me, right? They want to know maybe a little bit about my family, what I'm doing. Bring my dog in from time to time.
Right, it connects you to your audience. Your audience connects with, I said it connects you to your audience and vice versa. It shows that you are a real person. You're not just someone on TV or on this video phone or whatever. You're someone that has a real family, is a real person, that lives a real life, lives in a real house, the whole nine, and that's the thing that's so beautiful about social media too, is that they don't only connect with you through business, they also connect to you personally. I've met tons of people that I now call brothers and friends and relatives that really aren't blood relative just through social media. In fact, I was friends with the guy for 3.5, 4 years, and we did business. He sent me work, and I did it and sent back to him. And we always did good business, and we talked, became friends, started calling each other brothers. And this past weekend, I went to New Jersey to actually meet him face to face for the first time, because when I actually filmed for him, he was sick and couldn't be there. So I actually did with his assistant director and dealt with him. So to actually be able to meet the guy who I've been talking to and calling brother for the last 4 years was incredible, let alone be able to go there and show him what I could do. And now we're doing more business together. So it's just a beautiful thing that it shows how social media can connect you business-wise, but not only that, also personally. And you could create friendships, relationships that can last for years or even a lifetime. So I highly suggest social media platforms when it comes to delivering any type of platform that you care to deliver. I really do.
Yeah. Now let's kind of jump around a little bit at the moment. You mentioned Death Block, Escape from Death Block. So you talked a little bit about that. Like, what can you tell us about that? Because I know it's still the movie's not complete. What can you tell us like about that? And what did you learn filming in that movie to where you can apply to like everyday business? What are some of the stuff on that?
Well, first of all, networking. When you meet people, there's always an opportunity. On Death Block, there was, I think, 375 people, I believe it was, on the first 2 weeks of filming at the Mansfield Reformatory or the Ohio State Reformatory. So that's a lot of people, okay? And we're talking different ages, different backgrounds, different races, okay? And we're talking people in their late 80s to people all the way down to their late teens. We had a 16-year-old that was actually in the movie at one point in time.
Okay.
So, and let alone the background people and stuff. So you're dealing with a lot of different people. So networking is key, because a lot of those people, especially those older cats, has been there and done that. So they can kick you off a lot of knowledge. It can give you a lot of free education that they paid, thousands and thousands of dollars to go to college for and spent years and years and years of their career to learn. And they're giving it to you for free over a cup of coffee, just on set,
Yeah.
So networking is key, number one. That's one thing I learned on Death Block. Two, the way that filming is done is kind of like can be adapted to life, everyday life. Okay, it takes certain things to be successful, right? In a movie, good lighting, good camera, good crew, people that know what they're doing. But in life, it also takes good things too, good health, good finances, a good mindset, the whole works. Okay. So when you take care of each aspect of life, it's just like with film. You take care of each aspect of film, you get a good result. If you take care of each aspect of life, you get a good result. So it really ties in that way as well. Um, when it comes to business, it really ties in full circle, because once again, networking, the people you're talking with, that's business right there. But in another sense, you never know what bridges you've built and how you're going to have to cross those in the near future and how they can help you out positively. For example, the gentleman I was talking about when I went to New Jersey here recently, I had talked to him and been friends with him now for 3 or 4 years. And, to finally get to go meet him and everything else, I came back. And as soon as I got back, I wasn't even home an hour. He called me up and said, "Hey, I got some big news from a gentleman that I know with the deals with some big clients. And now they're looking at you to potentially film their next film. And they're talking about a $3 million budget." Okay. So, okay, that blew my mind. Okay. So once again, networking and talking with people and taking your time and really just, dealing with people and treating people fairly, really paid off, and even if it doesn't result in this case, they're still looking at me, which is a really huge client, which means that they're looking at me now. They're going to look at me for other future projects in case I don't get this one here. So
Yeah.
you never know how things pay off, but the one thing you do is you always lead with your best foot, always come with a positive attitude, try to treat people fair and best as you can, and put on the best quality as you can. And next thing you know, you will have a platform that's set and ready, set standing on, that people will actually seek you out.
Yep. Very cool, man. Well, congratulations on some of on all your success, So,
Thank you, brother.
uh, yeah, what else on Death Block can you tell us? Like, can you tell us any more, like when it's going to be released and, like more action on it? Like, is there a sequel in the planning? Like,
Well, this is what's going on. It's going to be released. We're looking at mid to late October, for a screening. When we're going to release it, I think we're going to look at the first of the year is what we're talking about. Simply because he's right now finishing up the special effects on it, and it's up in Michigan right now getting sound and color all put together on it. But it's looking really great. The stars are looking amazing. The footage is looking amazing. It sounds great. I got to do all the ADR for it, so all the vocals came out really crystal clear. And Gary Jones is just a dream to work with. He's a great guy. He did Scene of Princess Warrior, he did Boogeyman, he did Axe Giant, and a slew of other different TV shows and movies he was involved with in the back scenes that you've heard of, but we probably didn't even know he was involved with. So, it's a really cool thing to deal with someone like that, and that to be.
oh, I think we lost you, man. So, all right. I know we're kind of hitting over our mark, but let's see if he comes back on. But video marketing to me, guys, is very important. Whether you're on a low schedule, or you got this huge budget to do your marketing on, and just get out there and start doing it. You can use as simple as just a cell phone. And just start doing live videos or record some of your short clips on there, and just the videos phones now. It's amazing on your cell phone. You can actually have like small little edit your video and add content to it. Maybe like make it like a background or some different wording, and that kind of stuff helps pop your videos. So, but hey guys, I doesn't look like I know he was kind of in a bad area. He was doing some stuff. So we'll give him another second here. If not, we're going to go ahead, and we're already over our time. So we may go ahead and end. But again, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and stay tuned. Further information on Death Block. I know we got some more stuff kind of coming on that in the near future. Some of the actors, as well as hopefully get Gary Jones on here and talk to him about production and how this can kind of relate into business as well. So it looked like I just got a message here. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Well, hey guys, I appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and end for now. We're actually over our 30-minute time slot. So I appreciate it again. To David, I appreciate you coming on the show. I know you'll catch this afterwards. And thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Have a good day. Have a great week. Make it a blessed week for you.